Good day. In today's video, we will look at how voice AI can impact the way on how engineering reports are generated. In today's example, I will play the role of a quality assurance inspector. In my previous career, I engaged many times with quality inspectors. After a full day on the workshop floor, checking tolerances, verifying assemblies, and conducting function tests, the last thing a quality inspector wants to do is to sit down and write a report. In this demo, I will show you how our voice AI report generator transforms the way on how structured reports are created. You basically have a conversation with an AI agent, and it listens, it understands, and drafts the structured report within minutes. This tool isn't just about saving time, it's about giving people the freedom to focus on what matters most. If you're new here, my name is Arpad and I'm the founder of Multiply. My aim is to help small to medium-sized businesses gain momentum by embracing AI automations. If anything, there's two things I want you to remember from this video. Firstly, don't focus on the quality application. It's just a cover. The backbone of this demo can be applied to a wide variety of applications. This demo just shows you on what can be done. Secondly, it's not always about saving money. In this case, saving time means that somebody can spend half an hour or an hour more each day with the people they really care about. So let's dive into the demo and see how it works. So what's going to happen is that in a minute, I will text my agent, who will then give me a phone call on my mobile. And she will ask me questions about the inspections I conducted during the day and receive the information that she needs to generate a report. What you will see is that during the conversation, this spreadsheet will get populated with different activities and observations made during each activity. And that will be used by the agent to generate a report. What we've done is we've created a draft inspection template or report template, which then will be populated with the findings of the day and with the required format we want to have. So without further ado, let me text my agent, who will then give me a call on the script. There we go. Just receiving a call.
Hi, this is Sarah, your personal QA/QC report writer. Am I speaking with Arpad?
Yes.
Thank you, Arpad. Can you please confirm we are discussing the job that was conducted at Multiply Liner Tools on September 25th, 2025?
Yes.
Perfect. To conduct this process efficiently, we will use a stepwise approach, splitting the inspection into different activities, and for each provide a concise description with the key observations made. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, go for it.
Great. What inspection activity would you like to add first? You can choose from pressure test, assembly, or function test.
Pressure test.
Perfect. I've added a pressure test activity. What were the test parameters for this test? Was there a specific test window?
The pressure test window was between 2,550 and 2,850 psi.
Thank you. I've noted a pressure test window between 2,550 psi and 2,850 psi. What was the actual pressure you tested to for this test?
The actual test pressure value was 2,850 psi.
Thank you. I've noted the actual test pressure was 2,850 psi. Was the pressure test considered successful?
Yes, it was a pass.
Thank you for confirming. The pressure test was a pass. Could you please describe the activity in more detail and share any observations or notes relevant to this pressure test? For example, what tool or component was tested, and were there any notable results or issues observed during the test?
Yeah, we tested the shear pins of a tool named the HDRC tool. There were 5 shear screws fitted and the pins sheared at 2650 psi.
Thank you, RPAD. To confirm, you pressure tested the shear pins of the HDRC tool with 5 shear screws fitted and the pin sheared at 2650 psi. Is that correct, or would you like to add or clarify anything about this activity?
That's correct.
Thank you, RPAD. I have saved the following activity, pressure test. Pressure tested the shear pins of the HDRC tool. 5 shear screws were fitted and the pins sheared at 2650 psi within the test window of 2550 psi to 2850 psi. The test was a pass. Would you like me to add another activity? You can choose from pressure test, assembly, or function test.
Yes, let's add an assembly.
Great, we'll add an assembly activity. What were the procedures followed during this assembly activity?
We followed the global procedure GP1563.
Thank you. What were the relevant parts assembled and their serial numbers that you would like to list in the report?
We had an O-ring with product number PN3278, an O-ring with product number PN3298, a stinger with serial number SN1737, and the HDRC tool with serial number 38756.
Thank you for those details. Was the assembly activity considered successful?
Yes.
Thank you. Could you please describe the assembly activity further and share any observations or notes relevant to this assembly? For example, were there any issues encountered, improvements made, or anything notable during the process?
Yeah, we found that O-ring with product number PN3278 had no expiry date on the packaging. We used a different one with product number 3298, which had the correct labeling. I also witnessed the correct makeup of the stinger with serial number SN1737 to the HDRC tool with serial number SN38756. I witnessed the installation of 6 locking grub screws.
Thank you, RPAD. To confirm, here's what I have for the assembly activity. Procedure followed. Global procedure GP 1563. Parts assembled. O-ring PN 3278. Not used due to missing expiry date on packaging. O-ring PN 3298. Used correct labeling. Stinger SN 1737, HDRC2 SN 38756. Observations, O-ring PN 3278 was not used due to missing expiry date. O-ring PN 3298 was used instead. Correct makeup of Stinger SN 1737 to HDRC2 SN 38756 was witnessed. Installation of 6 locking grub screws was also witnessed. The assembly was considered successful. Is this accurate, or would you like to add or clarify anything?
No, that's correct.
Thank you, RPAD. I have saved the following activity, assembly. Assembly conducted following global procedure GP 1563, O-ring PN 3278 was not used due to missing expiry date on packaging. O-ring PN 3298 was used instead as it had correct labeling. Stinger SN 1737 was correctly made up to HDRC2 SN 38756. Installation of 6 locking grub screws was witnessed. Assembly was successful. Would you like me to add another activity? You can choose from pressure test, assembly, or function test.
No, that's okay. All good.
Perfect, RPAD. We have recorded 2 activities for your report. A draft report will be generated shortly, and you'll receive a confirmation email with a link to review it. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome, RPAD. If you need anything else, just let me know. Have a great day.
Right. So let's have a look at the report, which should shortly actually generated this in 53 seconds. Let's open up the report. And that's exactly in the format I had hoped for. So you can see that agent generates a title, which is the shear print pressure test on the HDRC tool. Test parameters are listed with a test window, the actual shear pressure, the observations, and the outcome was a pass. Procedures were listed, the part numbers were listed, correctly labeled HDRC tool, and it also listed that one O-ring wasn't used. The agent did a pretty good job at capturing the information that I gave to her correctly. At the end of the day, I was using names of tools which I basically invented for this particular example, with mentioning tool names and coming up with part numbers, and they were correctly captured during the discussion. I may have made one correction at the end, as you saw on the video, but that was basically it. So overall, this is a pretty good result for a fast demo. Lastly, I want to make a note on what is the real value to you as a business owner. If we save half an hour per inspection, and you conduct 4 inspections a week, and you have, let's say, 40 weeks of work per year, then you could save in a year's time about 80 hours of work. That's the equivalent of a 10-week holiday. If we look at this purely from a financial aspect, then it really will depend on how you would pay your inspector. Saving 2 hours a week at a $100 specialist rate per hour would save the company about $8,000 a year. The net cash flows would be circa $7,000 a year, and for this particular example, the return on investment will be about 240%. What we see here is that your break-even point would be achieved after roughly 5 months. So this concludes the demo of our Voice AI application. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what other videos you would like to see in the future. And if you like, please feel free to reach out to me through my website or book a free consultation call where we can discuss any other opportunities you may have. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.